What is going on, everybody? It's Matt Marchese, also known as Islanders Daily, your daily news from the four-time Stanley Cup champions New York Islanders. And the Islanders' winning streak finally comes to an end in this game as they fall to the Colorado Avalanche 4-1. And honestly, I can't complain about this game. I think the Islanders played a very solid hockey game that they just were unable to score on Scott Wedgwood. That's the story at the end of the day. Scott Wedgwood just dominated the Islanders and they couldn't buy a goal on him. And yeah, that's about it. The Islanders, I thought themselves, played a very good game against the best team in the National Hockey League. I mean, this Colorado Avalanche team only has one regulation loss this season. They're a dominant team, and they showed why. The Islanders, I thought, played a great hockey game, and they still lost 4-1 now. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, that fourth goal is scored because Casey Cizikas, for some reason, just doesn't care about Brock Nelson behind him, and Brock Nelson gets an easy deflection goal. And Cizikas can't play on the Islanders anymore. That's all I'm going to say. He just can't play on him. You can't keep throwing Cizikas out there. Obviously, they didn't really play him at all in that third period, but you can't put him out there because watching, one of the buffoons, Siplikov, was taken out of the lineup today, and Shabanov played. He looked better than Siplikov looked, but Cizikas can't keep him out there. I mean, you just can't. Shabanov and Richie are just too talented of players where Cizikas can't keep up with them, and he can't keep up with the NHL game anymore. He is washed. He is the definition of washed. If you were to search it up in the dictionary, you'd see Casey Cizikas in it. So, yeah, they just really need to make a decision and probably find someone else to play in that Casey Cizikas role because you just can't keep Cizikas in the game at this point. And, I mean, he gives up a goal. I mean, he allows Nelson to get in for a goal, and that's the most annoying thing about this game. Everything else about this game is whatever. It was a fun, easy, fun game. The Islanders competed. Scott Wedgwood just played great. But then you give up that fourth goal with 18 seconds left because Casey's, it's like infuriating. It's infuriating. Yeah, this game should have really only been, Sorokin should have only allowed 2 goals. Obviously, I think Sorokin played good. He had a couple big saves. Maybe he'd want that Ross Colton one back from that first period, or from that second period, sorry. But besides that, I thought Sorokin played good. Olofsson, he really had no chance there. Nate just then scores the empty netter, and then Nelson scores that one late in the game. Because I don't know what the hell Cizikas is doing. And, I'm tired again. These late games, man, they tire you out. And having to film this now at 12 o'clock, it was a long day, and get home. I got home around 8:45, turned on the Islanders after being out since 1 o'clock, and it was whatever, but, you always feel a little more frustration when you spend all day, you wait for the game, and, you get to have a long day, you wait for the game, and they lose. But, you can't be too mad about it. The Islanders have been playing great hockey, especially on the road. They've been doing everything that's asked of them. They played good hockey again. They did. They played very good hockey again, but the Avalanche, that's like just the Islanders didn't have the talent to compete with the Avalanche. They could have done everything they wanted to, but they still wouldn't be able to beat the Avalanche. And at the end of the day, Scott Wedgwood, I mean, who would have thought that guy would be that good of a goaltender this year? The Islanders just couldn't beat him. Bo Horvat had numerous chances. Kyle Palmieri had numerous chances. Now, I will say a lot of the Islanders' grade A shots they kept on the ice, which I'm not sure why. I would have tried to elevate the puck a little, but a lot of the slot shots were on the ice, and Wedgwood was able to make the saves with his big flippers of pads there, but it's what it is. I mean, you can't win them all. The Islanders finally did lose, and yeah, it is what it is. They battled, though. That's all you could ask for, and the Islanders still look like a good team. I still think these guys could easily compete for, a playoff spot in the future. They're not bad. They competed hard. They played solid hockey, but it just didn't go the way. It just didn't go the Islanders' way. That's what I'll say. No puck luck for the Islanders in this game. Obviously, I didn't record about the Utah game. I was unable to catch that one. I was away that day, so I was unable to watch it fully. That's why I didn't want to make the video there, but I did watch some highlights and a good comeback. And, I kind of drags into this one. The Islanders, they're a resilient team. They don't give up, and that's all you can ask for. That is all you can ask for out of these guys is their resilience, their effort, their, just willingness not to go down and lay down and just die. They'll fight till the end, and, they had chances. When we had the empty net there at the end, Bo Horvat, I thought had a surefire goal. I did. but somehow Wedgwood was able to just close the arm, close the glove side in the chest, and he made that save. It was a remarkable save. Even Butch was saying it. And it's hard for Butch to praise the other teams. But, yeah, I mean, there was a couple things. The Avalanche were physical. Burns threw Heineman down to the ice, which was kind of cheap. And then Manson gave a cross check. Lee dropped the gloves of Manson. He went down pretty quickly. I don't know if he lost balance or just got stunned. But somehow, honestly, he got called for a 2-minute roughing on that call. I don't know how he got called for that. They both dropped the gloves and they fought. I mean, that was a dumbass penalty there. That was like, the hell are the refs looking at? Freaking idiots. But, watching this game, you can't really say anything. I mean, D'Angelo, I thought, had a solid game. He made a nice play defensively on a breakaway the Avalanche had where he slid with his stick. But they just couldn't get a goal. That's the story. The Islanders just could not get a goal tonight no matter what they did. But they continued to win on faceoffs, winning 58% of the faceoffs, which is good. They killed all 3 of the Avalanche's power play. Obviously, we went 0 for 4, and you need one of those to go in, but they just couldn't get it. They just could not get one of those goals to go in. Heineman scored another goal today, so he's been a great addition to the team. I'm actually kind of surprised that was a goal. I thought there was some kicking motion there, but they said that he just angled a skate. So we'll take that. Heineman continues his good season. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the play of Emil Heineman. He's been a great player to get from the Canadiens for Noah Dobson. I know I wasn't the biggest Noah Dobson fan last year. I was actually happy that we moved on from him. Obviously, there's been a couple wars going on between the Canadiens and the Islanders fan base on Twitter and everything, but both teams, I think, are probably happy with what they got. I got something in my eye here. Both teams are probably happy with what they got. I know I've seen, Noah Dobson. I haven't really been following him or the Canadiens. I just don't care enough. But yeah, Heineman's been doing great. Aitchison was doing great in the OHL. Eklund, I checked him earlier today, seeing how he's doing in the SHL for Djurgården. He's playing solid hockey in that league. I mean, that's an adult men's league. 19 years old. He's playing pretty good in that league, Victor Eklund. So, yeah, it worked out. It definitely worked out in everybody's favor, I think. And the Islanders, I mean, I've been impressed with Matthew Darche. He's built a competitive team. I know a lot of Islander fans didn't think that these guys would be able to compete, and they are. They are competing. They're competing strong. I mean, obviously, there's still some question marks. I think that fourth line is something we have to look at. We need to find someone to maybe replace Cizikas. I don't know. I mean, I think I saw highlights. Joey Larson in the AHL has been tearing it up. I wouldn't mind calling up Joey Larson and going with a Larson, Ritchie, Shabanov line for the fourth line. I mean, I think that's a good line. I really do. I think, you're giving that guy, Joey Larson, a chance. He's been tearing it up in the AHL. Why not give him a chance with those fourth line guys? Couldn't, maybe boost them up? And can't be worse than Cizikas. I would have even started Siplikov over Cizikas, and I'm not the biggest Siplikov fan either, but they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it, and I don't know why they just continuously trot out Casey Cizikas. I don't know if it's because he's, a veteran, and I know I'm talking harsh on Cizikas. I know I am. I like Cizikas. I like everything he's done for the Islanders. He's done great things for us, right? But I've prided myself on being on this channel saying I am going to be the most honest guy there is. If the team plays good, I'll say they play good. If they played ass, I'll say they played ass. And I respect all the players. I like them all. But Cizikas just can't hack it no more. He just can't hack it anymore for the Islanders, and they need to make a move there because your fourth line is essentially two players. It's essentially two players because Cizikas can't do anything anymore, and it sucks. It sucks because I really do like Cizikas, but it is what it is. Hopefully, I mean, I don't think they'll change the lines anytime soon, but I do think it's something that you should look into in the future. But yeah, the Islanders lose this game 4-1. I mean, I'm trying to think of negatives to talk about the Islanders, but it's really hard. It really is because they played such a solid game of hockey against the best team in the NHL. You had this long 7-game road trip. You won the first 4. You already won the first 4 on the road, which is super impressive. You finally lose a game to the Avalanche, and it sucks, but I can't be mad. I can't be mad about that loss. It's just not possible for me to be mad. I think the team played good hockey. I really do. I mean, obviously, Sorokin gives up, what was it? They're saying 27 now shots. The shots are changing while I'm looking at the stats here. It looks like the Avalanche now have 28. It was originally 29-29. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. Obviously, Waugh did shorten the bench in that third period. Cizikas only did have 5 minutes time on ice, so he wasn't playing a lot. But this is where the problem is. Why are you playing him in the game if you're only going to give him 5 minutes? Put somebody else in there. Put someone else in there. Give Joey Larson a shot, man. Give him a shot because you're playing these guys 5 minutes. Obviously, Richie only played 6 minutes. I don't blame that on Richie. I'm more so, I think it's kind of Cizikas. Why didn't want to put out Cizikas in that fourth line, but it's tough. It really is. And I thought, Polak was a little shoddy today. Surprisingly, every defenseman besides Tony DeAngelo was a -1. Hey, that's kind of rare. You don't see that a lot. But yeah, I thought played solid. Polak, I think, struggled. Mayfield. I think Romanov played all right today. I think he just played a solid game. Schaefer, solid game again. Not a Matthew Schaefer game that we've become accustomed to early on in his career, but it's still a solid hockey game. The whole team just played solid. They just couldn't get one by Scott Wedgwood, and that's the way hockey falls sometimes. Sometimes you run into a goalie like Scott Wedgwood, who's just on fire, and you get out goalied. The goalie beats you, and that's what happened tonight. But the Islanders played a good game. Obviously, their next game is against the Dallas Stars, who are 12-4-3 on the year. Another very good opponent that the Islanders are going to have to play in Dallas. Then after that, you play the Detroit Red Wings again, another solid team. So it's not easy. It's not easy for the Islanders. It's tough sledding ahead of them, but from what we've seen, they're looking better than we thought, and let's hope they're able to keep up that compete level. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. As always, leave your guys' comments down below, and let's go Islanders.